Welcome to Positive Live with Jan Boal, registered nurse and empowering guide. We all could use more positivity in our lives, now more than ever. Jan brings you cheer, interesting information, and uplifting ideas in regards to mind, body, spirit, environment, and energy as she and her guests explore all the positive possibilities that encompass our health. Hop on and join the adventure.
Hello, and welcome to Positive Live. This show, I have special guests, the YaYas, and the reason I bring them on before I introduce them all is this is a unique group of women, and there's even a couple more that aren't with us, and we'll mention them, is the YaYas we're going to share our story of how we're each all unique, and yet we still are unified. And what I believe is this is something that the rest of the world needs to kind of catch on. How women can stay friends and still have different point of views. So let me tell you a little history about the YaYas. We all met through work. We've all do different jobs. I'm the psychiatric nurse, and my two sidekicks here, Rosalie and Michelle, they're the computer geeks. And Deb, who was also in one of the computer geeks, she's not with us. She wasn't able to because she's camping and has no electricity. And then we have Susie, who's not here either, and she was the therapist. And then we have Yvette and Becky, and those are our two accounting gals. So we became friends how many years ago? 15 years ago.
15, yeah.
Yeah. So we're all different. We have different personalities. I'm of course a little more vivacious, and these two were really very quite shy in their own little ways. And then Yvette and Becky were just friendly and sweet as ever. So my question to these girls, to the YaYas, is what have you gotten out of this 15-year relationship with each other that you can share with the rest of the world?
Can I go first?
You can, Yvette.
Well, you ladies, I have never had a problem with telling you anything, and without you guys do not judge. We all do have different opinions, different thoughts on political, religion, everything, and we still get along. We still respect each other's views. We know when to stop and shut our mouths so that we don't disrespect each other. We have each other's backs no matter what. We don't talk behind each other's backs. We're very truthful with each other, and we all love each other. I just have such a wonderful, wonderful friendship. That's something that I've never had with so many women.
Yes, I agree.
I
Becky,
really liked what you said, Jan, about we have this unity, but unity without uniformity. In other words, we're all different. We're not cookie cutter images of each other, and yet we can be united in our love and our having fun together, and it's just really a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm. Michelle, what would you like to impart?
Well, I would have to say, it has taught me, really how to trust and be able to lean on people that I probably wouldn't have. I would have kind of just stayed to myself, and it's just been a wonderful experience. And learning how to laugh until you almost wet your pants.
That's for sure. We got that. Absolutely.
So true.
What about you, Leslie?
Well, basically, it's pretty much, we've said a lot of the same things. So that's really the main part. But I do appreciate being able to know that I have sisters in this group. I mean, we're not like friends as much as we're more like sisters.
With a YaYa sisterhood.
We definitely don't have the same opinions. I mean, we're definitely not cookie cut perfect at all. And I just really appreciate YaYas, and I appreciate how we've stuck together. And
Mhm.
I mean, there's been things that we totally disagree on, and we just move forward.
Yeah,
It's
it's like,
like,
well, let's
okay.
not talk about that anymore. Let's
Yeah,
move on so we
let's
can
move
laugh.
forward. Or why did that happen? You know, doesn't matter. I love you anyway.
Yeah.
We move on.
Well, and something else that's unique about us and how I feel like we kind of represent, at least the United States, in that we have different ethnic backgrounds. We have mixed race marriages. We have people in our family that are transgender. We have people that are gay. We have people that have had kids out of wedlock. We've had breakups in our relationships, severe upsets with our kids, issues with work. I mean, I think we run a really nice variety. We have different religions and spiritualities. And I think what's so wonderful is that we do respect each other for that. And it's kind of like the old, Al-Anon A saying is, take what you like and leave the rest. And I feel like we've all listened to each other, especially like when it comes to politics or religion. And we love each other so much that we really want to get the other's point of view and to hear it. And with knowing that, we respect that about each other. You know, that's my opinion.
We also learn, because just being people, we have our views and our thoughts, and this is correct, you know, right here tells you I'm correct. But by taking the time to listen and really understanding another person's point of view, instead of like, I'm shutting you off right now because I don't agree, we're open and we still listen. So then we're able to maybe change some of those things that we didn't realize was negative, because we've learned from another person's point of view. And I think if everyone, you know, if we could get everyone to stop judging and stop being stuck and stubborn with what I think is the only truth, I think everybody could grow. And I think that's one thing that we've benefited from, because there's things that, you know, my points of view have changed.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, we just need to, if we don't agree, just agree to disagree.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. And I think there's a little bit of truth in everything that we say, just because it's, you know, things come from a different perspective. So we're going to look at it differently. And this allows us the opportunity to see through somebody else's eyes. And because of the fact that we love each other so much, we're willing to do that. Absolutely. So.
Okay, cheers.
Okay, cheers.
Oh, cheers.
Here's the YaYas. And first and foremost, what the YaYas know how to do very well is have a good time and laugh, because it's that laughter that has brought us together.
Yes.
You know, absolutely.
One of the things that really drew us all together also, though, was music and loving to dance and loving to express ourselves with music. And I think that was a big connection in the beginning when we first started hanging out together.
You know, remember, Jen, you were giving dance classes at work, and I joined one of your dance classes, and that's how we met. And
I did not know that.
I did not.
Yeah, and then she brought
Did not
Becky.
know that.
Yeah,
So you could have taught us all to dance.
that's right.
And it was Chris, it was like Aretha
Franklin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Get that? Yeah. Yeah, the other thing is the fact that we have such diverse backgrounds, and also politically we have diverse backgrounds, but we kind of know, like, I think tonight is probably the most that we've ever talked politics with each other, because we pretty much kind of know, you know, what each other thinks, but we do want to hear what they have to say to bring to the table. And then it's like, okay, you know, there's enough of that. Let's have fun and let's laugh and dance. And the thing that was wonderful about us dancing together is, you know, for some of you, you didn't get out of the house much, you know, and you have kids and, you know, and we would just pretty ourselves up. And of course, at first our husbands were like, what are you guys doing? And really, we talked to each other. We're like, oh, oh, that's a great outfit. I love it. Oh, I love what you've done with your hair. You know, we were each other's boost.
Yeah, because I definitely wasn't going out. I just wasn't doing that at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely changed that part of our lives. We got out more.
Can you hear us?
I think they can't hear us.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, now we can hear you now, can we?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Okay.
The furnace went on.
Technical difficulties.
That's
Yeah.
technical.
That's what happens when you go live. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
What happened?
What did she say?
Furnace
The furnace
happened.
went on. Oh, the furnace went on, yeah.
Right, right. And it would be nice if our other two YaYas were here too, so they could add their 2 cents worth. But yeah, it's just amazing that we have such diverse background. And what I think what we teach the world is, you know, I know all of you, and I know that you're loving people and you love your families and you're good citizens. You go to work, you pay your taxes. So despite the fact that we have all these other differences and kind of the big name things as far as, you know, politics and religion and stuff, I know that every single one of you are good people and you care about your family and you care about us and you care about your community. And I think that's the starting point with all the diversity that's going on right now, that you have to find what's common and to appreciate that. And then from that, build on that and, you know, some good jokes or some kind of laughing or dancing, of course, is always good.
Another thing we did that I think kind of helped us get out of some of our ways is we had to have a secret sister. We had to buy them a present and tell something about them. So you had to put the little
Which made some of us uncomfortable at first.
Which was very uncomfortable. So Michelle and I were twins at first. That way we were able to kind of, wasn't as hard, but we did get through that. Now we do that and we're fine with it.
Yeah.
It was difficult,
Yes.
but it did help us grow in ways that we didn't realize we needed to grow.
We did a retreat, and I didn't want it just to be a big giant party retreat. Of course, there was some of that, but I wanted this to be something in celebration of each and every one of us and to hear what each other appreciated about the other person's.
You know, I wanted to say that I was going through a hard time at one time in my life. And these girls did a powwow for me. Becky sang a song that reminds me exactly of my dad. Everybody said wonderful things about me. And I walked out of there feeling so much better, knowing that I have friends that love me, that were behind me 100% when I felt I had nobody. My YaYas were there for me. 100%. Thank you guys.
You're welcome.
And I have a story too. When I found out I had cancer, I couldn't believe the way everybody just gathered around me. They gave me so many gifts. I couldn't even believe it. It was wonderful. The love and the support that I felt going through that rough time that I had, it was a blessing, a real blessing.
Yes, these my YaYa sisters are truly blessing from God.
Yes.
Seriously, yeah. The best blessing ever.
Stop that.
No, you knock it off.
Stop
You
that.
lover, liver, lover.
But a couple of us left the community, and that made it a little bit more difficult. Deb moved to Arizona, and I moved to Oregon. But we still really try to make sure every year that we get together. Usually Deb and I come into Washington so we can all be together. But we're learning to try to rotate going to people's different homes, you know, different states and stuff so that we can share the travel. What about learning from each other's with raising their kids?
I don't know though. A lot of the children were older.
Older.
You know,
They were still in high school.
Yeah, they were.
High
They
school
were. Well,
and-
Rosalie and I were friends prior, so our kids are lifelong friends.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a little different.
Becky's kids were the oldest.
Yeah, Becky's was you.
But, you know,
I kind of excited about watching how all the grandkids are starting,
Yes.
and hopefully we'll get to meet Jaden and put him in that mix with all the other ones, you know.
Yes.
So I'm
Mhm.
excited about that.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about your new baby coming, Leo. I
Yes,
can't
we
wait.
will be here in December. I mean, besides, I would go in and probably complain about what one of my teenagers had done recently, or Yvette would say, yeah, guess what Eddie did, or this
Mhm.
did, or Rosalie would like, well, what Sasha's done now, or,
Yeah, yeah. We all had our mom stories.
It definitely made you feel better that you weren't alone in your struggles with teenagers that
Mhm.
don't always listen to what's best for them.
And then things always wound up turning out okay in the end. They grew up. Yeah. And now there's a bunch of grandkids. And this little gal, I remember she was scared stiff about having the first. You were the first one to be the grandparent, right? The
Well,
first
Becky-
grandma around here.
Becky was
Grandma.
pregnant.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Becky was
that's
already
right,
a grandma.
right.
Yeah.
And those girls were already teenagers by the time we met them.
Oh, they threw me the most wonderful grandma shower. I'd never even heard of such a thing, and I had my first granddaughter at my house every weekend when my daughter was working, and those items just have helped so much, and it just really made it comfortable for the baby to crawl around, and I had everything she needed.
Hmm.
So
Nice.
it was very nice.
And now you got a whole sling of them, and you're just running in there all the time.
Number
She was a little
7 is
timid.
coming.
Number 7. Wow. Yeah.
Well, my biggest thing was, what am I going to have them call me? I don't know if I want to be called grandma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I couldn't imagine anything else. But
Yeah.
Hmm.
I was
We have
all
a
kinds of names.
nana in the house. My grandmother was a nana. One of my grandmothers was a nana. I have no grandchildren. I don't think I
Not
will.
yet. Not yet.
Yeah, I don't know, but we'll see.
There's still hope.
And my kids aren't interested in having kids, but they have pets, so I go over and spoil their pets. It's like grandma's here. What are some funny stories
Oh, jeez.
that we can share?
Oh, that we can share.
That's the
That we
problem.
can
we
share. Right.
Can we tell the story of how you went missing at Hurley's for a little while?
No.
No.
How
about
about
I don't care.
donkey deer?
Oh, the
No.
donkey deer. All
Oh,
sitting in one car and sitting on everybody's lap. And
Right.
Trying
Yeah.
to get trying to
Yeah.
go out, and then
Mhm.
we seen a donkey deer, wasn't it?
Well, it was a mule deer.
It was a mule deer, but I was so drunk, I didn't. That's the first time I ever heard of mule deer. And then when I seen one, I said, "Oh, it's a donkey deer," and I haven't.
She hasn't lived it
I haven't lived it down.
No.
Yeah.
On our first retreat, it took me forever to realize that those geese or ducks or whatever they were on the beach were not real.
They were
Remember
decoys.
we
Oh,
had Sammy that would go with us? I had no idea they weren't real.
No, that's when I hijacked one of them. I took
It was a
one of
swan.
the swans, and we initiated her. We set her free on a night of dancing and drinking, and she was the belle of the ball.
Yep.
And
We had pictures of it.
I know everybody wanted their picture with her.
Yeah, gotta take a picture with Sammy.
Yeah, so that was pretty fun. And then my girlfriend sent me off with a beautiful bon voyage when I did my quest travels around the world. And and you gave me a little Sammy so I could take pictures with me and Sammy and all the different places we
Right.
went. And I did that. Yeah.
So, what part of the world do you think Sammy's at right now?
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
I think she stayed in Hawaii.
Yeah.
She was
I
on the
don't want to
boat.
go back to the old
We
Spokane.
went on a different trip when
Yeah.
Rosalie and I were there.
She was
Yeah,
on the boat.
she was
but we
on the
haven't seen
boat
her since.
and then never saw her again after that.
She must have went swimming
Yeah.
with the
You
dolphins.
escaped again.
Right. So what about our family situations as far as biracial marriages and transgender and gay children and stuff? Well,
We've
hello.
got
Have a
another
roomie
YaYas.
over here.
Everybody was very welcoming of each of all of these situations, which is not necessarily how it would go in the world today. let alone in families, So,
I say if you love a person, love is love. Who cares if they're black, purple, brown, orange, or the gay? It doesn't matter. As long as you love that person with your whole heart, everybody needs to accept that, and that's it.
because we want our family to be happy.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I think you accept those things, but that doesn't, you don't want to make light of what the family may be going through, trying to learn how to accept it themselves.
To adjust, yeah.
I mean, that's still a huge adjustment, to maybe find out your child's gay, or those may not be the dreams or hopes that you had for them, that of course you accept it and you still love them, but it does make life a little bit harder for them
because it's a whole other new world.
Yeah, I mean, lots of people don't accept that, and that's where you have to, I believe in prayer. I really believe that you can pray to God that they're not going to go through that hard time, and you have to love them and make sure that they know that they're not different than anybody else. They're still a human being that deserves to be loved and can give love.
Yeah, our parents just only had to kind of basically deal with people living out of wedlock, and then people started having kids and not be married. And, for my parents' generation, that was the big thing, women's liberation and all that kind of stuff. And now that seems like nothing compared to what's going out in the world.
I had to fib to my grandfather when he was still here, I don't know, for 4 or 5 years, that, I was married.
Oh.
Because there was no way my mother was going to have him know any different before he passed.
Oh,
So.
yeah. Because for some people, it's just those, lifestyles are hard to accept. But I think, I don't know everybody in the world, but I think in today's world, people are more, I try, but yeah, I think what's come out of that in today's world is there's so many different things that we're more accepting, that we see, I can't speak for everybody because I don't know everybody, but what I see out in my community and other communities is that, yeah, things are always going to be different for every generation.
For every generation.
More voice, are able to voice and say more than, like, I don't know about you, but there were things I couldn't say. There were things I definitely, no way.
Right.
There just was I don't feel like it. That wouldn't have flown.
No, honey, I was talking about.
No,
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
There's just things that now, things are different, and our kids are different, and they have their ways where they speak up. It's not like maybe some of the times we had where we didn't necessarily speak up because we didn't want to be in trouble.
Yeah, some
Hopefully
people
they speak up for good.
Right.
Make a change.
Yeah, because
And
some kids were supposed to be seen and not heard.
That my kids still will not cuss in front of me.
Well, that's good.
Good.
That's respect.
Yeah,
That's respect.
yeah. And I still believe that children need to be
Respectful.
respectful to their elders.
I agree.
Mhm.
They have to.
Right. Yes, I agree.
But they do speak up. Like if they don't like something, they let their parents know versus not.
But we've given them that
Yes.
opportunity to say, okay, let's talk about stuff. Let's not, because with each generation, we've learned what really didn't work, how our parents treated us, and we all want to do things a little differently. And that's made in the women's movement, I remember my mom going, she wasn't part of the 60s sort of thing as far as being younger. She already had kids and a family, but as far as the workplace, in her time, she couldn't get a loan. She couldn't have a bank account on her own if she was married. God, what else? Yeah, heaven forbid, girls weren't allowed to wear pants, especially to work. Yeah.
I remember.
And they had to wear nylons, right?
Yeah, nylons.
I still remember having to have my husband approve with my bank account at one time. And I couldn't use my maiden name to have my own. I do remember that. That was at the very beginning, though.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
was like, no, this is who I am, and this is what I want, and it doesn't matter. Oh, yes, it does. Well, when
Yeah.
you see they want to see my license. So I show them my license. I didn't give up my last name, my prior last name. So it was still on there. But because Gibson was added to the end of it, it was a big deal.
Yeah. It's
So
just
I had
so,
to fight that.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it just was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we need to make more memories.
Yes. We need to have more memories.
Oh, definitely more memories.
That's right. Because the one thing that really holds people together and to connect, I think, is also laughter.
Oh,
Oh, for sure.
You know,
oh my gosh. Like
There's
somebody
something that
mentioned
you
that
can, yeah, you can share a good
we
laugh
laugh,
with
laugh,
somebody.
we almost pee.
That's a great bond. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we can't even hardly sleep because we're still laughing.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Right.
trying to fall asleep and we start laughing again. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, YaYas, for joining me. And I just wanted to show you off to the world, to show how blessed I am to have you in my life, but also to show the rest of the world that this is things of how we get along that the rest of the world can really learn from. I think they need to take heed of this and start with the small stuff and take what you like and leave the rest. Find what's good in everybody.
And that's
Right.
that's the key right
perfect message for today.
I think we
perfect.
can drink
What's
to that.
good? What's
Cheers.
good?
Cheers.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us,
Oh,
and
Love you guys.
I wish you all good health and wellness.
Don't you have a joke?
Bye for now. Oh, I have a joke.
Oh, you do have a joke.
Oh,
You told-
okay.
Yeah, there's
So
supposed to be
what
something.
happened? What happened when the psychiatric nurse walked into the bar and met the computer geeks, the therapist, and the accountants?
What?
She had a damn good time. Bye.
More Positive Live at janboal.com.